from Paradise Studios in New York, Strong Island Television presents Under the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Tonight, we're going to be interviewing producer Terrence Patterson of the hit web series Half Past Jump Time. Brent will also be reviewing the new films Color Out of Space and The Gentleman, with special guest critics CJ Oakland, Matt Roran, and OB. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger. Welcome to Under the Radar, where we talk all things film. And as always, I have a wonderful panel of guest critics today. Also, I want to thank everyone who's taking a break from all the Super Bowl festivities right now for watching. I know you're sacrificing a lot, and I thank you.
Wait, Super Bowl's today?
Damn you.
Listen, just leave it on DVR and watch it later.
I don't have one anymore.
It's good.
So guys, we've got Matt Roran. Welcome back.
Hello.
Also CJ Oakland.
Yep.
Two veterans of the show. Welcome back. And also OB. It's been quite a while, sir. Welcome back as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. How's everything going these days?
Good. Everything's going really good. Thanks for inviting me back.
Of course, man. I remember we had a lot of fun the last time, so.
Yeah, I'm always like, checking out the films that you throw at me. Especially indie stuff. I really like indie stuff, so.
Cool. Very good. Well, we've got sort of an indie film. I'd say it's an indie horror thriller. And yeah, we've got another out there performance from Mr. Nicolas Cage in Color Out of Space.
I would expect no less from
Yes,
Nicolas Cage.
there he is with his wife, and basically a meteorite crash lands in their very serene and quiet home in the middle of the woods. And basically what emerges from this meteorite is otherworldly and sinister, and it affects everybody in the house. It's basically, you've got touches of the invasion of the body snatchers. You've got The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing in there, and you've got Nicolas Cage in the center of it all, like being Cage. So I think this was just a wonderful horror thriller with a little bit of comedy thrown in, and it was just a fun time.
It's hard to miss comedy when you got Cage in the center. But touching on The Thing aspect, the first thing I wanted to know when you told me that there was some Thing elements is I went straight to who did the special effects and please tell me Rob Bottin has something to do with this film, because I thought he was retired or semi-retired at this point.
Oh, did he do the original?
Well, he did the special effects on RoboCop. He did the special effects even on Mr. Deeds. He did the Blackfoot stuff. He's done everything. He did Total Recall. He did a lot of stuff. Rob Bottin to me is probably the best special effects artist with real effects. You know what I mean?
Practical.
Practical.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
But no, it wasn't him. But still, I think, for the body horror type of stuff we saw in this film, they did a really good job. It was nothing to sneeze at. And I actually am a huge H.P. Lovecraft fan, and we'll get on to more of that specific stuff later.
Sure.
But I was a big fan of the stuff I saw. There's a couple of things that they left out of the short story. Because I told you, I'm a huge fan of it. But I liked it a lot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, as far as Lovecraft adaptions, it was one of the better ones I've seen.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing harder to do than adapt Lovecraft to film.
Sure. Yeah, cosmic horror movies are very hit or miss.
Yeah, yeah. So I loved it. I mean, every element really just came together. The effects were really good, and it's like Richard Stanley, who directed Hardware.
Right.
It's man, you've come a long way.
Right.
And I mean, just Cage. I mean, there's a scene with tomatoes in this movie that goes right into that reel of the crazy Cage.
He starts it off real mellow. And he kind of goes
escalates,
and he gets
he goes further down the Nicolas Cage spectrum.
Yeah, I think the scene where he's in the car, he does something in a car where I thought he might break through the top of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think in a future show, I'm going to have to come up with a sort of a chart,
cage meter,
exactly. A chart, like what the movies go.
Cageometer.
Yeah. I like it. Patent pending.
Yes.
CJ, what did you think of the film?
I honestly enjoyed it. It's a really good, just fun B movie. You have, like they said, like really good practical effects. Nicolas Cage is great, but also the rest of the family did a great job performing.
Yeah.
I really particularly loved the wife. Did a fantastic job with it. Yeah, like her playing how the character was going. Like this movie did a great job with showing how these people are being changed or affected, but like never giving it away. Like there's so many movies where like when someone's infected, they're just completely a different character for the rest of the movie, and sometimes it's good,
like
sometimes
gradual,
it's not. This one, it's like you see Nicolas Cage will like kind of go crazy and then pull it back, and it's like that's more the insanity there is them losing control of themselves.
Right.
And the tension was very well done in this movie.
And I'm curious, what did you guys think of the visual style, the Technicolor aspect of it?
I love the colors. The scenery was just so good to watch.
Half the film is in fuchsia, or violet. One of the. It's a nice purple.
Well, if you've ever read the short story, which I don't know you guys have, it was basically tried to be described as, back in, I think it was 1927 it was written. Basically, it was an undescribable color. You know what I mean?
Which you can't really do in a film, unfortunately.
You can't do that, but they tried their best.
Yeah.
And I think they achieved what the meteorite looked. In the book, it was described as something that hit the Earth, and I forget, there was a term for what it was. It was like the wasted barrow or something like that. And it's been a long time since I read it, and it would smolder and it would not be put out until the lightning struck it. And when that happened, you got those colors, and it just covered the Earth in the blooming things that we saw.
Okay.
Oh, the Blasted Heath. I'm sorry.
That would have been a good title as well.
Blasted Heath is what it was called.
I'm curious. So I personally have not read the short story, but reading it and watching the film, how does it compare? Like, do you think the film does it justice, man? I mean,
it's also been a long time since I've read it.
Okay.
Like I said, I think this is like one of the most like true to Lovecraft adaptions I've seen.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Okay.
But if you want to know specifically, because I kind of binge read Lovecraft like every winter. So, number one, obviously, it's based in the future. Right. Number two, they changed almost all the characters' names except I think they kept Nathaniel and I think they kept Jack. The other characters' names they changed, which is not a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is also one of my issues with the film is when you introduce technology, because this was 1927.
Right.
When you introduce technology, it needs to be used properly. So the wife was a writer.
Yeah.
Now she's a stockbroker, which is fine. Unfortunately, if she's having a problem with Wi-Fi, complaining about the dish and so on and so forth, that issue has to have some type of bearing on the story.
Right.
In that tomato scene we're referring to, it kind of fell flat. In the book, there's more to that.
Yeah.
'Cause she's not complaining. I mean, I won't ruin anything, but she's not complaining about Wi-Fi.
Right, exactly.
And the other part, and there's really only two things because I thought the film was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the other thing is the cell phone. When the wife has something that happens to her and she needs to leave, and they're trying to call each other.
And they're just
nowadays they're yelling at each other and they can't get in connection. Like, what do you do when you can't get in touch with someone through the phone? You text them.
Yeah.
Now that could have easily been fixed, and I don't know why in a writer's room they didn't do that. You could have tried to text, and it could have just come out as like some type of jargon you couldn't read, and that could have been a lid on it. You could have just fixed it like that, but they didn't take that route.
Okay.
It was a weird. That was a weird thing that I did notice. It's like, texting doesn't exist.
Text them, maybe.
It's a reality where texting doesn't exist.
Nicolas Cage came back to the farm and he was screaming at his daughter like a madman.
Yeah.
And if I was the daughter, I would have looked at him blankly and just been like, "Why didn't you text me?"
Well, wasn't just all technology on that farm was on the fritz though?
The lights still worked. I think
I think it was just
again. This is a small nitpick. I thought it was good.
No, I think just the cell service in general was just not.
That might have been it. But then again, you had the character of Ezra, who didn't seem to have a problem with his technology. I don't know.
Yeah.
All of the technology should have just been blacked out at that point, in my opinion.
CJ, I'm curious. We last night we did a little binge watching ourselves in preparation. We watched Mandy and Mom and Dad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, two relatively recent Nicolas Cage Cage Fest.
Yeah, I hadn't seen either of them, and I really like Mandy was good with just a very psychedelic kind of revenge horror movie. Like, it could have been done as a very simple, just like old school exploitation revenge film. Like, it's nothing groundbreaking there. But then they just decided to do crazy visuals and stuff like that, which was fun to watch. And they let Nicolas Cage go insane. That's like, I enjoyed Color Out of Space, but I kept reading like Nicolas Cage is getting crazier and crazier, and I just wanted him to go full Cage, and he never quite got there for me. And like, that's all I wanted. And Mandy delivers in spades.
Mandy definitely.
Nicolas Cage losing his mind.
he goes up there. It's high on the Cage meter.
Mom and Dad is a movie I've seen a lot of times on Hulu. It looks like a bad direct-to-video movie. Like, it's just basically an unknown virus or phenomenon kind of makes parents want to kill their children.
Yeah.
And I thought it's just going to be like Nicolas Cage is the dad, Selma Blair is the wife, and I thought it would just be them chasing the kids around the house.
Kind of by the numbers.
Kind of a very low-budget thing. And instead, the movie was amazing. It's so tightly done. And just like, it has some of the best visual storytelling I've seen in a horror movie lately. There's just so much going on in the background that's like informing you of what's going to happen and like setting up where everything is, and it all pays off
I praise the direction and the editing. A wonderful performance once again from Cage.
Yeah, like that's going full Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, and
that was great.
That was full Cage, and that movie you don't hear about it really.
No,
it fell through the cracks.
I think Nicolas Cage has worked himself into a corner because like ever since like let's say Con Air and like Face Off, like big blockbusters. Like, he's taken himself. Like if he's not being paid $20 million, I feel like people don't go see it.
I don't think he's made a movie.
$6 million, I think, is all they spent on the Color Out of Space.
I think like National Treasure 2 was like the
that might be
the last big blockbuster Cage movie.
And that was what, 10 years ago?
That was 2007.
Yeah.
More than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Fun,
And then after that, he's been doing...
he did that other one, actually. What was it? The Sorcerer's... Not the Sorcerer's...
Sorcerer's Apprentice. He did World Trade Center in 2006.
Yeah.
But
that era, like mid-2000s.
Yeah.
And then he kind of just like...
went downhill.
And then he made some of the best movies of his career.
I read somewhere that in 2 years, he made like 10 movies.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Except the last one we reviewed was not that good.
My friend has a great... he has a...
It's hit or miss, really. It really is with Cage. But I'll see anything he's involved with, because I'm intrigued by what he's going to do next.
Exactly, because my friend has this great analogy for who Nicolas Cage is, and he's kind of like Nostradamus. He's like, he'll just keep making predictions, aka movies. Eventually, one is going to be gold, and even if it makes money, it doesn't matter. So I just keep watching here, with my popcorn.
I think Mom and Dad might be one of those,
that was like
diamond in the rough.
That was like performance. That Mandy and this is like it's like.
I feel like John Travolta's in a very similar situation. I don't know if you guys saw The Fanatic.
No, I haven't seen it.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, please see The Fanatic.
Okay.
Absolute.
Fred Durst's directorial debut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Fred Durst came from directing a lot of music videos, which is how a lot of directors
like
come
Queen
up.
and Slim was directed by.
And that was a great movie.
And written by.
That was one of my favorites of the year.
Same here.
Lena Waithe.
And even Steve Barron directed the 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, and that was the highest-grossing independent film for 10 years.
Yeah. Arlington Road. Does anyone remember that movie?
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins. That was Mark Pellington, who directed the video for Jeremy, or Pearl Jam. He directed, Anthrax videos,
and Spike Jonze, who did Being John Malkovich. Didn't he do a bunch of music videos?
He was a music video director.
So they have a great visual style.
Till to the late 90s, there was a lot of directors that came from music.
Oh yeah.
Because they know that perfect marriage between sound and visual.
Michel Gondry also.
Oh yeah.
Was a music video director as well.
So good. Science of Sleep. Great.
Yep.
So I'm not going to say necessarily Fred Durst might have hit it.
The Fanatic.
But I really enjoyed that movie. It keeps you on the edge of the seat. It's like they say, buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
I don't think the last decent thing I saw Travolta in was the O.J. Simpson trial. The miniseries.
That was actually,
oh my God, it was so ridiculous.
It had a great cast. Cuba Gooding.
Now, when you say ridiculous, you
Juice. I mean, David Schwimmer.
Yeah.
No, Juice. No, no, not in Kimmy's room. Juice. No.
Maybe David Schwimmer wasn't the strongest part of that, but I think Kardashian did a good job. I'm Kardashian.
I'm Travolta.
I think Travolta. I'm sorry. I still remember the OJ trial.
I enjoyed it, but
and who did actually probably the best job in that entire thing was now I'm going to draw a blank on his name. Bailey. Who played Bailey?
Bailey.
Or Ito. Either one of those guys.
Judge Ito?
Yeah. Both of those actors did tremendous jobs.
Yeah, just a phenomenal cast.
Because they looked and sounded just like them. Effie Bailey. Shoot.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Anyway.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to
Cage, because I could talk about Cage forever.
Yeah.
You really could.
I know you two have sat through some really terrible Cage movies with me.
Yep.
But I'm curious from everybody, favorite Cage performance ever, or top 2.
Oh man.
Oh,
favorite
that's
2.
so hard to say though.
I'll start off The Rock.
Okay.
And probably second is It Could Happen to You.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I like that one.
For me, I don't like Nicolas Cage when he's a fantastic actor because he's done some really good roles where he's like actually acted and did well.
Yeah.
I like him when he goes crazy. Like Con Air is one of my favorites because he's just going full Foghorn
Well, I'm going to pick one of each, so I want to hear yours. I'm going to pick a crazy one, and I'm going to pick a straight one.
Yeah, so like Con Air for me is like, it's so fun to just watch Nicolas Cage just doing this weird performance all the time. And when we were watching Color Out of Space, there's a tomato scene, and he's like, look at the tomatoes and the peaches. And I'm like, all I hear is just him doing a southern accent going, I can eat an alien-infected peach for hours.
You know what movie I thought of?
That's actually that's Face Off.
Damn it.
Face Off.
I could eat a peach
It's
for
so
hours.
similar.
Oh, yeah,
voice.
exactly. That's the
Face Off.
scene I was thinking.
Also thinking of Travolta.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It all comes
Full
together.
circle. I love it.
Good job, guys. We did it.
So my 2, for him being an absolute like weirdo nutball with like lots of like ticks and Jesse Eisenberg, aka Super, a Batman versus Superman vibes. I thought of Matchstick Men.
That's a classic.
I really like that one. And then the other one where I think he just plays like weird, over the top, and is kind of like a meme at this point. But I saw it in theaters and I thought it was really, really good. Is when he's in The Rock. I just like really like that movie. But it's
love it.
Also, damn it.
How in the name of Zeus's butthole did you get out of your cell?
Yeah.
See.
I mean, my 2, I'm going to go with Wild at Heart.
Okay, David Lynch.
And Vampire's Kiss.
I have
talk about moon.
I've actually never seen that.
That movie is like.
I think that might be the first film, 1988, where he went full cage. Where he went full cage.
Full cage.
Oh,
where he lost it on camera.
Because I think what was his first? His first was.
There's you have earlier Valley Girl. You have Peggy Sue Got Married.
Peggy Sue Got Married.
Moonstruck.
He's in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He's a very big part. He's
he started like
Brad's friend. Like
he was I think he was like 17 years old in Valley Girl. And his uncle was Francis Ford Coppola.
Right.
Okay.
So that's how he got his big break.
Coppola,
Yeah, nepotism, but whatever. It worked.
But it's always a treasure. We screened Valley Girl a couple weeks back, and he has like one scene in there where it's like watching the blossom of a beautiful cage flower. You're like, one day that's going to be fully bloomed. It's going to be the most beautiful, crazy thing you've ever seen in your life.
I just feel like the more hair the man loses, the more insane he gets. And I like how he really is just embracing it now. No more silly wigs.
That's one of the things I love most about Nicolas Cage is that he's willing to be crazy. He's willing to go make himself look ridiculous for a performance.
Yes. Yeah.
Like you'll never see a lot of like really good actors like be willing to kind of go that far for a performance.
Right.
Like Nicolas Cage has no problem.
Well, he knows
being
his strong suit.
I'm just gonna have fun with this, and I'm assuming everyone else will. And sometimes it works. Like Sorcerer's Apprentice, he played it so like tone deaf. Like I'm pretty sure they didn't let him do anything crazy on set.
Yeah,
and you could tell he's so
that
bored
film,
doing
honestly.
it.
That might be his
Like you
worst
have him
film.
playing an ancient sorcerer. Let him be insane with it.
Yeah.
But Disney, I feel like Disney was like, no, you got to tone it down. You got to be serious about this.
Most likely because they gave him a big fat check.
Oh,
That's probably why.
Yeah.
That's the mouse.
You don't pay Nicolas Cage. You say, here's $15. Go do a Looney Tunes impression in this crime thriller movie, and he'll do it.
Yeah, and he was kind of toned down in the
there was a rumor.
Ghost Riders, actually.
Yeah, I was actually so disappointed.
Which is
how
weird.
toned down he was in those.
Because you would think that type of character would be loud.
Ghost Rider is fine, and then when he turns into Ghost Rider, he's losing his mind. I'm like, why didn't we just get this for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is, like, I'd be really upset if they ever, for whatever reason, like, the rumors said, like, a year ago that he was going to join the MCU, and I'm like, as who? What would he do?
Yeah.
He'd be, like, so toned down and so useless.
Well, he was almost Superman, so that...
You know? People
if
were
only we
saying
could've
he might
gotten
be
that.
Cletus Cassidy. People were saying, like, this, that, and the
No.
third. When I saw the end of Venom, I'm like... oh, my God.
When I saw all of Venom, I was like,
Who is this
I
sad
liked
live-action Raggedy Andy
I thought it was a
doll?
decent movie. But yeah, back to Color Out of Space. This movie, it's starting the year off good. I'd say.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know, it's refreshing. So I hope we get more of this type of filmmaking down the road.
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely give it like 3.5.
Yeah, out of 5.
Yeah. No, out of 4.
Out of 4? Wow.
If it's out of 5, then I would give it maybe 4.
That's
like
pretty
4
high.
to 5. Like, it's definitely
the
not.
weakest parts, honestly. The weakest parts is only because I really love that short story, and it is a short story.
But like, it's so hard to do like a 1-to-1 Lovecraft translation from like a prose story to a film.
Of course, because the dialogue is so different.
Yeah,
the dialogue is very different.
Like I love Lovecraft's ideas so much, but his prose is like sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's not as great.
It needs like annotation so much,
yeah,
and also
like
the character of Ward's not even in it. He's just the narrator.
Yeah. So wait, Lovecraft's
and
work.
Ezra's not in it either.
Is Lovecraft's work mainly science fiction?
Almost all of it.
Yeah. Almost all of it.
There might be other stuff, but I don't think anyone's really interested in that. I'll be honest.
Oh, really?
Some of it is just like straight up scientific graphs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he was a hardcore like. Maybe opium junkie. I think.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense from this movie.
Yeah. Because the son Jack, like in the book, I don't think there was any reference to him doing any drugs. Ezra didn't exist. Like, there's lots of differences. You can read about them online.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it works for the movie.
So 4 out of 5 for you.
I would say 4 out of 5.
Yeah. CJ?
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
It's just a fun time.
I hate the star system, but 4 out of 5.
I give it 3.5 out of 5.
I say watch it with some friends. You'll have a good time.
Yeah.
Like, laughing at it.
Right.
It's worth it.
It's a good slow burn.
It's trippy. It's trippy. It's fun. It's not quite Mandy trippy, but it works.
And it's playing a limited run in theaters, so if you can catch it on the big screen, I got to, and it was.
I would have really liked to tell you the truth, if I had known that.
I think it's at the IFC Center right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
I think it was only playing for like the week before. I don't know if it's still there.
Oh, it's not there yet?
I think it might
anymore?
still be there. I mean,
See, that would have been a movie I would have liked to support.
Yeah.
I
could see that on the big screen for sure. All right, guys, so we're going to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with our second film review, The Gentleman, right after this.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending, interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
And we're back. Hey guys, Under the Radar, Randy Younger, your host. And our second film of the evening is the Guy Ritchie crime comedy thriller, The Gentleman. It's got an all-star cast featuring Matthew McConaughey, Colin Farrell, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Grant. And I always forget this gentleman on the right.
Colin Farrell.
Charlie Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam. I always think he's Tom Hardy. I don't know. He's very similar. But basically, McConaughey plays a drug kingpin who's basically, he wants to get out of the business, and this sends ripples down the crime hierarchy. And basically, they, like all Guy Ritchie films, you got different factions of criminals trying to take the main guy down. And this was just a fun time. I mean, another great way to start the year. I was impressed by the performances, particularly Hugh Grant and Colin Farrell. But yeah, overall, a fun movie, a good time. Matt?
I had so much fun with this movie. I really enjoyed it. There were a few like laugh out loud moments for me. I went into it kind of like hesitantly, but I felt like this was like, oh, Guy Ritchie finally made his third movie. You know, it's like, this is perfect to come after, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, and Snatch. It's like, all right, this is the movie I've been waiting for like 20 years. I mean, the performances were great. I think this might be the first thing I've actually seen Charlie Hunnam in.
Yeah, I think so. For me, anyway, as well.
Because I haven't watched. He's on Sons of Anarchy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't watch that show, but I loved him. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, he was the perfect straight man in this.
And Colin Farrell, who my relationship with Colin Farrell, when I first saw him, it was Minority Report.
Okay.
And I loved him, and I said, "This guy
he's going places.
He's going places, and I love him." I didn't see another movie I liked him in until probably like 2 years ago, and I can't even remember what it was.
Never seen The Lobster?
Yeah, like exactly.
Okay.
Like that was like maybe like 5 years ago.
Phone Booth was decent, but I think that was that was around the same time as Minority
but I was
Report.
There are like so many roles where I'm like, I don't really like get this guy. Like, and then as recently, and in this movie, I thought he just killed it.
Yeah,
like he was fantastic.
He was my favorite part of the movie, to be honest. Him coupled with Grant.
Yeah,
excellent.
And Grant, I mean, classic. Like it's I like that after like Paddington 2, he's really adapted. Like, hey man,
the first Paddington's awesome though.
Did you see Paddington 2?
I didn't see 2.
See it.
Okay.
Hugh Grant is amazing.
Is he the villain?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like one of those things where like he kind of like it's like he's embracing the being a villain.
I don't know what's going on.
OV what? What's going on?
I'm stuck in the middle of this.
I grew up with Paddington Bear. I did not see the movies based on the fact that I'm like,
you don't want your childhood like tarnished?
I was scared.
I got 4 kids, so I see all the kids' movies. And it's
is it really that good?
I
thought it looked like nightmare fuel.
I mean, if you look at it that way, but isn't everything nightmare fuel really?
Okay, all right. Maybe I should check out.
It's less scary than.
I still have the original Paddington doll.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
But Hugh Grant. I mean, he really nails like this. It's like the era of Hugh Grant as a villain.
Because when you said that there's a villain in a Paddington movie, I'm like,
well, Nicole Kidman was the villain in the first film,
yeah.
And she was great too.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, yeah, I got to see part 2.
Okay.
So go see Paddington 2.
Yes,
at your local theater 5 years ago.
Take your kids. CJ, The Gentleman, what did you think?
I'll be honest, like, it's a fun movie. I had a fun time watching it. I don't think it was as strong as, like, Snatch or...
Oh, it's definitely not
like,
as strong as the other
two.
two.
Right. It's good to see Guy Ritchie get to do, like, that crime thriller where, like, everything goes wrong, but I feel like not enough went wrong, honestly. Like, everything with Charlie Hunnam's good and, like, Colin Farrell, like, I love their parts. I wish the movie was more about them and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I feel like Matthew McConaughey playing Mickey is a guy where, like, this is the king, he's the cool, suave guy who's in charge, and it's about him trying to sell his business. But I feel like for the entire movie, he's the cool, suave guy, and it's like, the end conflict is like when it's like, oh, is he still going to come out on top? And it's like, his character doesn't change throughout the whole movie. And I feel like that could work as, like, the guy who's the figurehead crime boss, and it's everyone else reacting to him, and, like, trying to, like, please him or take him down, and that's what's causing everything, but... The movie focuses so much on Mickey, and I feel like there's kind of no reason to.
And a side note on McConaughey's performance, he does his inner monologue thing, like he does in those commercials.
When it started, I'm like, oh fuck, we're about to watch like a 3-hour Cadillac commercial.
Yeah, it's just
what
like
are you doing,
his
Matthew?
Car commercials. I'm like, I don't know what his character's doing.
I'm sitting in a Lincoln Continental, and I'm gonna have a drink. It's a jukebox.
Like, it was ridiculous.
Wait a second, that was him talking?
Yeah.
That was him, like...
Yeah, that was his
narrating, like an inner narration, inner monologue.
I didn't notice that.
You did? Yeah.
Oh, it was the first thing I noticed as the movie started, because I literally
I thought
was like, oh my God.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure that was McConaughey.
At the start, it's McConaughey saying it. And then, in the bar, it's McConaughey. And then it cuts to Hugh Grant when he starts telling the story, and he's the narrator for the rest of the film. But at the start, it's McConaughey
just
walking...
that one scene.
Yeah, just that one scene.
McConaughey walking in. Right. Yeah, not the whole movie.
Like it's the speech that he's also saying at the end of the movie. It's like
it's just McConaughey walking in saying like, when you're the king, you need to be the king. And I could just picture him driving down a dark highway.
At the end of the movie, I knew it was him. At the beginning, I thought.
But it's pretty much. I think what he's saying in the end of the movie is the speech in the beginning in his inner monologue.
Yeah, it's like
it starts
trying to be cute.
This is definitely the commercial. Like, what did you do?
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, I honestly was like, this is what's happening right now.
Kind of cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Okay. But
then it picked up from there.
But previous Guy Ritchie films, he's very diverse. Not just, he hasn't just done crime comedies. He did last year's Aladdin live action.
Yep.
which was
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either.
It was fun, right?
I liked it.
Jafar. Jafar was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I'll give you that one.
I'll give you Jafar.
Jafar was terrible.
Did your kids like it compared to the cartoon? What do they think? I'm curious.
It's hard to say what they think because they're just like, we like movies. So, I mean, it's like, they're like, I liked it. But
what are the ages?
It's 11, 8, and 6.
I'm curious what age liked it most.
Probably
6?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I was 7 when it came out, so I remember.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. But previous Guy Ritchie films, what would you say, Obi, what would you say is maybe your favorite Ritchie film?
Well, this one's already out, right?
Yeah.
So this one.
This one. Wow. Okay.
All these guys are crazy. I think this is the best he's ever been.
All right.
Let's put it this way. When I saw Memento for the first time, I knew exactly what was going to happen within 7 minutes. And I walked out. My wife, she wasn't my wife at the time, she was so mad at me she didn't talk to me for a week.
Because you predicted the...
Yeah, we were dating maybe 3 weeks or something like that. I don't know. So she didn't call me for a week.
Over Memento.
Because I loved Christopher Nolan. I thought he was great, and I was so mad, at that. This movie, I could never have predicted what happened. And I love Guy Ritchie, and even Guy Ritchie films, after a point, you can kind of see what's coming.
No.
Right.
But in the scene in the very beginning, when you think, I knew he wasn't, I knew it wasn't what I thought it was. But then when that wasn't what happened, and then that, you know what I mean?
What it led to, and like...
I did figure out this, though. When he's had the analogy about dominoes, then I started thinking. Then I'm like, wait a minute. What is he talking about with dominoes? Because I pick up stuff like that usually in movies. And I'm like, these guys are all dominoes. So who's the missing domino? And then I'm like, who am I not thinking about? And then I started thinking about the Russians. I'm like, they never explained who the Russians were. That just kind of went under the bridge. And now I'm like, this movie's fucking genius. Because he's never done that in a movie before.
Yeah.
Think of every Guy Ritchie film you've ever seen.
Oh, they're pretty by the book. Like Snatch and Lock, Stock.
They all, every character. The arcs are always completed by the end. There's never like somebody they just blow away. And
the finale is always a huge twist. You had different directions.
You had the Chinese mafia. You met them all. You knew who they all were. You had the Pikeys. You knew who they all were. And nobody came out of the woodwork and then just disappeared. And then I'm like, wait a minute, the Russian guy. Because he's like, this anomaly right here. Like, he pointed to the guy. He said he was an anomaly. He said he took care of him. But I'm like, that guy was a kid. He had to be part of the Russian mob. He had to have a father. That's no way that's fucking tied up. You saw his head for a second, so something's wrong. And then that was when I was like, something's coming. And I'm like, this is genius. And that's why I think this is his smartest film. Maybe, all right, maybe if you guys want to say artistically it's not his best film, but I love being surprised.
It felt like Snatch all over again.
It might be like Snatch.
Yeah, it's definitely like it really did. You love the movie. Like for me, like I wasn't really surprised by anything that happened.
It's not the best cinematography. I know. It's not the best artwork. It's not the best acting.
But it's like to me, what I like most about Guy Ritchie films is that it's less about the mystery and seeing like, oh, how's it all going to turn out? Where's it going? It's that you know who these characters are, and then you see them making awful decisions and like all of it compounding together. Like that's what I love about Lock, Stock, and Snatch is like seeing how each person's dumb idea completely screws over the next person, and none of them are aware of it.
But then that's more of a look, in Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, they're all morons. You know, I told Randy this earlier. The scene where Pearson says to the guy with the glasses and the hat, I forget his name, who wants to buy his business and is talking to him, and he says, I don't take anything personal about this, that, and the third, and then finally he comes to the thing he does take personal. I knew exactly what he was saying, because I've not been in that specific situation, but the whole, like, you know, family type of thing, that's exactly what I would take personal. He was cold-blooded, and that was good. I love that. That had me sweating. I'm like, all right, let's get this motherfucker. You know,
I'm kind of comparing Ritchie to Tarantino, like early Tarantino in terms of the crime comedy.
This is like a Pulp Fiction.
This has
type
got
of
a
movie.
pulp reservoir type vibe to it.
Except for the fact that it's linear, then
Yeah. So and basically both filmmakers kind of became popular in the 90s, and the stylized violence and comedy. They really made it. They really made it fun to watch.
Yeah. But I mean, the movie's fantastic.
Yeah, it's good. You know, it's not. So far, it's not on my top 10 of the year. I mean, it's still early in the year.
I don't think so either. I'm just rating it as a Guy Ritchie film.
As a guy,
He does. I don't even know if does he have 10 films.
He does, but I only remember 3 of them.
These are like the only 3 that you would say.
Right. He's got. Did he do the second Sherlock Holmes? Guys,
that was the one me and you were questioning.
Yeah, I know he definitely.
I know he did the first.
Definitely did the first.
I know he did Lock, Stock, Snatch.
I think he did the second one,
King
but it's
Arthur,
only because like I don't know anyone else who took over it.
He did this one and Aladdin.
I'm not sure.
Was King Arthur good by the
No, it was absolutely
2004 version?
Don't even ask.
I had fun watching
Charlie
it.
Hunnam forgot how to do an English accent in that film.
Was that Clive Owen or Gerard Butler? Or were they both in it? Was Gerard Butler in that too?
It was Clive
Owen.
It was Clive Owen. Well, he's good.
Clive Butler.
Yeah, Clive. Oh, yeah, they're kind of meshed together.
It wasn't even. It was Clive's Butler.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
You're wrong. Clive Butler. The Butler did it.
Yeah. Well, guys, see it or skip it. What do you think?
Oh, I would definitely see it.
Well, yeah, you're a huge fan. I could see.
Yeah. I like Guy Ritchie a lot. You know, he's made. Listen, the reason I think that Aladdin was specifically terrible is because Disney is very hands-on with their stuff. They don't want anything to be offensive. They don't want anything to be. They want it to be done their way. So there's probably a lot of overreach done in that film. You know what I mean? He did not have any creative control, probably. The actors had to do what they were given, so I don't blame the actors, and I don't blame Guy Ritchie. There's probably a whole lot of reshoots and a lot of silly things done with that, so I don't even blame Guy Ritchie 100% for that film. I think he's a great filmmaker. Okay. That's Aladdin.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with King Arthur, honestly. And I have no idea.
Was it just like a Gladiator ripoff, but Middle Ages?
They tried to make it all about
medieval Gladiator.
It's everything. They go like full fantasy. They go like kind of crime thrillerish, but in medieval times. Which I kind of like that aspect of it. That was the most fun I had watching it.
I was just going to say that.
Was like seeing like, okay, it's a story of King Arthur, and they have to get back the crown. So how are they going to do it? He gets his crime buddies back together, and they're going to do a heist.
Like
and I'm
Robin
like,
Hood.
I would watch
cool.
that.
It was like Ocean's
if it was about that with Robin Hood, like that's what I
Arthur.
wanted to see. Like,
but then they tried to throw in the whole Excalibur lore in there. They tried to throw Merlin in there. They tried to be like, let's get all these.
And there's like a magic shadow realm where like I'm sure they shot a lot, and then they just cut all of it out.
Yeah, had
because
they just done like
good.
a heist film, that would have been great.
Cool. Like if you do Robin Hood as a heist movie, I would watch that. I would enjoy.
Didn't they kind of do that 2 years ago?
The Robin Hood movie,
Jamie
wasn't
Foxx.
that great. It wasn't that.
Can we stop talking about the
movies? Jesus.
Yeah.
These are things we tried to forget. Don't bring
I
them
know.
up.
Hey, that's what we do here. I don't know. But
that might be one of the 10 worst films I've ever seen.
King Arthur?
No, Robin Hood remake.
No.
That was possibly
or the Russell Crowe version.
That was like Wall Street 2 level bad. That was terrible.
Yeah. Oof. Guys, see The Gentleman, skip The Gentleman.
I say see The Gentleman. If you're a fan of like crime thrillers, it's a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
I've been telling people all week, go see it. It's fun. So.
Yeah.
Just don't bring your kids, because
unless you're
kids don't want to.
I'm like, it depends how old they are. No.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So now it's the fun part. This is plugs. Anything going on we want to talk about? OB, you're back from like 2 years.
Yeah.
So is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to plug?
Sure. You guys can check me out on my YouTube channel, which is called Big Twinkie. It's YouTube/Green Sleeves. The E's are 3s, so that's a little confusing. But on my Facebook, it's just Chris OB, and there's a link there. It's just a lot of Ghostbusters-related stuff and prop building and movie reviews and movie commentary, stuff like that. So check me out. I need subs.
Yeah,
Thank you.
No, I hear that. Guys, plugs.
I work on the same stuff every time. I still have nothing new to report. Listen, writing is a process. There's a lot that goes into it, and it takes a while to put something out.
I understand. And you got a lot that you're juggling in your head there. So.
Well, that's impressive. I can't even juggle outside of my head.
My plug is I had my birthday yesterday, and we hung out and watched the movies.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy belated.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. We watched the Nicolas Cage movies and watched Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That's a good birthday.
Our 3-movie marathon. Yep. We do it every month or so, I guess.
Yeah.
We got to get...
We're trying to. We're trying to watch our way through all of the Friday the 13th movies and not lose our minds, because they're not
How many are there? 12?
Too many.
There's 12.
Well, there's Jason X, which is 10.
I count Jason X and I count Freddy vs. Jason, which means 12 altogether.
Yeah, there's 12. Right?
And then we'll finish off with the remake.
Yeah. So next one they make will be Friday the 13th, and I'm assuming it will be the worst of them all.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to do a weird approach that's going to piss a lot of people off.
Better come off on better come out on the 13th.
It's going to be a unicorn. That's it.
Oh, that's the worst. They had all the movies on demand for free, and then as soon as Friday the 13th rolling around, we were like, oh, let's hang out on the 13th, watch the movies. I checked the day before, they took all of them off, because that's when everyone would watch Friday the 13th.
Of course.
Yeah. It's a genius marketing move, though.
It is.
That's when they make their money. It's like, it's free when no one wants to watch them, and then as soon as Friday the 13th comes around, that's when you got to pay $3 to rent
If you watch them at 1.5 speed, you can actually probably get them all in one day if you don't sleep.
That's it. They sound like chipmunks.
You're not really missing any dialogue.
That's true. That's actually a good idea. Hey. Might consider doing that. We're up to part 3, which was actually shot in 3D back in 1983. Yeah, so that's next up. But Matt,
what about you?
Wait, who's in the third one? Somebody famous is in the third.
Well, you got Kevin Bacon in the first one.
Kevin Bacon wasn't Johnny. No, I'm thinking of Johnny Depp was in the
Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
But Matt.
As always, Saturday nights at 10 p.m.
Yes.
Cult Cafe, Cinema Arts Center in Huntington. This weekend we have the 1974 blaxploitation classic Sugar Hill. Can't go wrong. The storyline: woman whose husband is killed by the mafia goes and basically raises the dead with the help of some voodoo priestess, and zombies go with the help of zombies go kill the mafia. So we got that, and then continuing our Black History Month, Blaxploitation month, we got Foxy Brown the week after that, and then Jim Kelly as Black Samurai the week after that. So.
Wow! All right.
I'm definitely going to be checking that out.
Seriously, guys.
That's a good plug, Matt. Good plug.
Cult Cafe at the Cinema Arts. If I lived closer to Huntington, I would be there every Saturday. You know that. All right, guys. So we're going to take another commercial break, but we'll be back. I will be interviewing producer Terrence Patterson, and it'll be right after this. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Under the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
And we're back. Hey guys, Under the Radar. I'm your host, Randy Unger. And right now I have with me a very special guest, producer of the hit web series Half Past Jump Time, Terrence Patterson.
Hey,
hello, how are you?
Thank you for having me, Randy.
Yeah, thank you for being
nice
here.
To meet you.
Yeah. So we usually have people here through Skype. So this is like almost like a dream that you're here right now.
Right?
Very cool.
In living color.
Yeah, it's very nice, very nice. So tell everybody about Half Past Jump Time. What is it? How did it come to be?
Okay, Half Past Jump Time is a time travel web series based on the Harlem Renaissance as being the 1920s part and urban contemporary hip hop music.
All right.
So the time traveler in the 1920s is about to lose her Cotton Club type establishment. She has an idea that she has a niece who lives 100 years in the future who she's visited every once in a while. She doesn't know that she's been visited. But anyway, long story short, she wants to bring some of that hip-hop dance that we're doing now with beats and all of that back to the 1920s to kind of resurrect her club and save it from being closed. So she uses her time travel. She has a ring that kind of summons a portal that allows her to travel.
All right.
She's also part of a kind of league of time travelers that she kind of corrects things that points in history that may go awry.
Because I saw the first 2 episodes. They're on the website.
Correct, on YouTube, Amazon Prime,
all right.
And also Vimeo.
Okay.
Yeah.
More to come, I hope.
More to come. Yeah, we have 3, 4, 5, and 6 that are already written.
Cool.
I've already done pre-production on it, so now we're going to do some crowdfunding for the sci-fi part of it, the visual effects, because audiences are so smart now, and you got to be able to make it look correct. You can't just cheapen out on that. Yeah.
Cool. So you're a filmmaker.
I'm a filmmaker, a writer. Well, actually, this is one of the first series that I've written. I've always kind of stayed away from the writing part of it because I don't know. It just seems like this thing that I didn't think that I could do. I was more of a producer. My background before getting into entertainment was working in law firms and being a project manager. So but
that creative spirit that's in you.
Correct.
You got to let it out.
Correct. And the project management part of it really helps me with the producing part because it keeps me focused.
Smart.
And everything needs to be in line, and I'm always a step ahead of everything. So it all kind of worked out. But yeah, I also want to probably try to direct an episode.
Yeah.
I've never directed anything, and I think I want to do it.
So you've just been producing?
Producing, yeah. Before I did the show, this particular show, I did an off-Broadway play called The Newlyweds for like 10 years.
Okay.
And also working in a law firm during the day. And also during my lunch break pitching films and trying to get NBA players
Always hustling.
Yeah,
I hear
New York.
you. I
It's
hear
New
you.
York. So, so Half Past Jump Time is just this thing. One of the first creations I did on my own with my own company, Paragon Multimedia, which we're just a content provider. We want to do some really high-quality web series. And if they transition into Netflix or something of that nature, great. Maybe the Issa Rae thing, maybe that'll work for me. But I just want to make great content and basically have it be character driven.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of sci-fi that's a lot of visual, which is great.
Yeah.
I want the visuals to be great, but I want it to be more character driven. And this one, in this case, there are 2 women. So better leads. So.
And now, speaking of characters, speaking of the cast, how
Yes.
did you find these actors? They're very good.
Yeah, the time traveler Harriet, who's played by Shawnette Hamilton, she is actually one of the lead actors in my play that I worked with her for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So she was in the play, and as soon as I was writing the character, I immediately thought of her because she's such a good actress. She has such great stage presence, and she would just embody the character. So I wrote it for her, and then I got a choreographer because I needed actors who could dance. And, a little side story is I wanted to actually, in the beginning, a couple of years ago when I was doing the show, I wanted to find actors who could dance, and that was actually harder to find in New York, as opposed to dancers who could act. Because I wanted, there's a dance part of it, it's a big focal point of the show, so I wanted to make it really, really good.
Right, and believable.
Yeah. So when I started to interview, audition actors, some of them just weren't up to par when it comes to the dance part of it. I don't know. Maybe I just, my ads didn't hit the right people, but I started looking for dancers who could act, and I found a choreographer. He is actually one of the characters in the show, and then he gave me referrals, and I kind of, auditioned those people, and they fit the profile. And Harriet also, Shawnette, who's the actress, she got the 2 other actors that are part of the show as well. So it was a lot of referrals. I did have auditions, but I just didn't get what I was looking for. I was kind of being discerning. Even though it's a web series, I wanted to be very discerning about who I wanted to be a part of the show. So, yeah.
How active were you in with the with the choreography?
Me, not so much.
No? Okay.
No, I mean, I was I was at every rehearsal, and I interviewed a ton of choreographers before I met with Michael Bishop, who is my choreographer. And I'm more involved in it from a visual aesthetic standpoint. I want to make sure that we're hitting the right 1920s dance moves and contemporary, dance moves as well from a hip hop standpoint and marrying them together.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How did you come across? How did you come up with the title?
The title. It's actually from a song from a 1950s singer called Mabel Lee. She has a song called Half Past Jump Time. I had written the first 2 or 3 episodes and also the outline and synopsis of the show, but I didn't have a title. I had no idea what to call this show with a time traveler in Harlem Renaissance hip-hop dancers. She has a counterpart that's a scientist. I was like, okay, what do I name this show? I didn't even know what, so I was flipping through YouTube. YouTube is useful and simple in a lot of ways. Yeah. And I came up with that title. I saw her video, and then it just, Half Past Jump Time just seemed kind of embody what I'm looking for. Some of that antique, the old 1920s part of it, and also the jump time part of it from a sci-fi standpoint. So I don't know, I just clicked with that.
The logo, the title, I believe you have a little picture of a clock with arrows.
Yeah, time.
Yeah, almost like steampunk.
Exactly, in that way. Absolutely, that's a good reference. So Yeah, so there's an Art Deco 1920s part of that logo, which I thought would lend well to the show.
Do you have any filmmaking influences? I'm just curious.
For me right now, there's a lot actually. I'm glad I'm able to name some. In this case, Jordan Peele definitely.
Oh, great.
I mean, it's just his mind. Like, I would love to work for him. If he would ever, I would work with him on this show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because he has such a great creative. He's able to cross, genres and make them really realistic. Between Ed and Get Out and all. And he just does it.
Us was nuts.
Us. I mean,
oh my God.
Yeah, also, Ava DuVernay is a very good filmmaker. I just love her visual eye. Dee Reese is great. Steven Spielberg is always good.
Oh, there you go. And
for sci-fi.
He produced Back to the Future.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm getting a lot of that vibe here with your show.
Absolutely. Yeah, there is that. going back. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? I actually have not thought of that as one of my favorite movies. And Randy,
go.
Because it is exactly that. Michael J. Fox going back, to in the time period with his parents and kind of seeing what life was like then and having to adjust to it.
Yeah.
And people. Meeting him and thinking you're a little off, like you're not from this time period, something, but still, embodying, beginning to learn things from him, and that's how that story played out. But that's kind of what I want to do. That's actually
cool.
good. That's a good jumping off point.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, how many more episodes are you going to do, or is this going to be a continuing?
It's going to be a continuing. This first season, being presumptuous here. The first season, 8 episodes. So I have 5 more. 4 have been written now. I have a few more to write, and then hopefully we'll have a second season. I have another kind of anime-oriented kind of web series I want to get. It's going to be called Gemini Dark. It's about a universal spy. She kind of goes to different planets, and she has little assignments that she does, but she lands here on Earth in Brooklyn, and some stuff ensues. So that's a good one. That's going to be an anime, actually.
Very ambitious.
Yeah, I'm trying. Just trying to get the company going, Paragon Multimedia, to have some content so that people can, go and see what we're about and see what kind of the brand that we're trying to build, basically.
Okay. Now, what do you hope audiences take away from your work?
I hope another main reason I did the show was conversations with my grandmother. She, grew up. She was around 20 in the 1920s with my grandfather. She met him in Chicago, but they came here for a little bit. Then they moved to Florida, which is where I'm from and where my mother grew up. But a lot of the influence for the story, Half Past Jump Time, comes from my conversations with her. And at that time, when I met, my grandmother, she was older, so of course she was going to church and all. She was in the South, but then to find out that she was this young woman who had this life, and maybe rubbed elbows with gangsters and some famous people in New York that I just only read about in books, was just fascinating to me. Yeah. So she would always talk to me about learning from the past and how, you as a black man living in America right now, that a lot of the things that you're experiencing, people experienced in the past as well, and people have fought for your right to do those things or, have dreams or whatever the case may be. So I kind of wanted to do this thing of where you learn from the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, from a historical standpoint.
And now, what is the audience reaction so far?
So far, people liked it a lot. They love the concept. They haven't heard of it before. They haven't seen anything quite like it, and they want to see more, which is why we're having.
Yeah. After the first episode, it's like, oh my God, I want more. Then I watched part 2. It's like, I want even more at the end of that.
Exactly. So that's
you keep building it. It's like an ever-going. It's like a tease.
Exactly, and like one of your guests said earlier about subscriptions. Like I'm looking for subscriptions. Because you just want to get eyes on your material, and you want it to be good, and you want to get the word out. So the word is starting to get out. We're doing a lot more interviews about the show. So we're going to do these 8 episodes, depending or not depending on the crowdfunding. It will happen, but. Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
I'm curious, were there any other modes of time travel, time machine that you thought about, or was it always just the ring?
The ring came from, again, anime. A lot of them have inanimate objects that have a lot of power, and once the person who possesses them comes into themselves, they can utilize the power of whatever it is. That could be like, there's an anime, Inuyasha, I guess, he has a sword that has a lot of demon power in it. So that kind of bled into my thoughts of it, and the ring actually comes from maybe like ancient Nubian pharaoh kind of a thing. So that's how the ring, that's how
kind
it's
of like a cultural
exactly. So the ring actually kind of called her when she was younger. She actually lived in New Orleans, and then the ring was there was this thing about this ring that made her come to New York here as a young girl, and the ring is actually a part of her bloodline. So there's kind of like a Nubian pharaoh kind of Stargate thing going on.
And I don't know if this is a spoiler. I don't even know what future episodes hold, but I predict that the ring might fall into the hands of the wrong hands. Literally
the wrong hands.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But we'll see, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Cool. Anything can happen, yeah.
All right. Terrence, anything else you want to mention, plug?
You can watch us on www.halfpastjumptime.com. We're on YouTube, Half Past Jump Time. Facebook, @halfweb, WEB. We're actually on Instagram as well, HPJT_ the web series.
Cool. Well, Terrence, I want to thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Yeah, so guys watching at home, I want to thank you. If you are watching, you're probably enjoying the Super Bowl right about now or soon.
Yeah.
But I want to thank everyone watching at home. And yeah, I'm your host, Randy Unger. This has been Unger the Radar. We'll see you next week with more interviews and movie reviews. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Under the Radar is all new next week with more movie reviews and interviews on Strong Island Radio and Television. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.